Hey, this is Stacia, and I am now going to share round two of my last tournament at Parma Chess Club. And I just came off a win against Wisla or Wes, um, the coffee house player, and now well, this is a tough quad. I basically had three 1900s to face. And I don't know Constantine's last name, but I do know that I've seen him in the 1900s fairly recently. So I think that's about what his rating is now. And so I played him for the first time. I've actually had his son in chess camp too. I think his name is Jean Michael. And I really liked his son. We had a lot of fun at chess camp, and hope to see him at some tournaments sometime soon as well. But okay, let's see what happened this game. I mean, I'm playing in 1900, so I'm very interested in these games. He opened with d4, I went d5, and he went c4. So this is the Queen's Gambit, so I can take the pawn. So I did. All right, so he played knight to f3, which is the main move, and I went knight to f6, and I was definitely expecting the move e3 here. This is what they normally do. And then I do something like e6, and they take the pawn. And this is how I used to play the Queen's Gambit when I was white. And then I would play c5 here, and basically it goes something like this. Okay, and you end up getting a position. But in this game, yeah, okay, so knight f6. You know, I'm starting to notice that I give my opponents, maybe sometimes I give them a little too much credit. I know that sounds maybe a little arrogant or something, but I'm being sincere because, okay, I know my openings. I don't think I know them incredibly well or anything, but I know them, and I kind of know the ideas I'm looking for and stuff like that. And I know some lines. When he went knight c3, I was like, ooh, he really knows what he's doing. Like, this is such a good move to play because it's so flexible. Oh, and I started thinking like, oh, that's how these 1900s do it. They play like these flexible moves, and it's going to be tough for me to figure out how to proceed. Okay, when it turns out, because, okay, let me explain why knight c3 is a good move. At least I think it's a good move. It's a good move because white is not committing their e-pawn. They're saying maybe I'll go e3 and maybe I'll go e4. And when the knight comes to c3, it's fighting for the e4 square. And my whole setup, you know, is usually based on whether he goes e3 or e4. So it really makes me think, you know, how should I proceed here? Also in a flexible way. It's difficult. And I did use a little bit of time here, and I did remember or find the top move, which is a6. A6 is the best way to fight because you're saying, okay, you know, if you don't want to take back the pawn, I'm gonna play b5. Like I might actually play b5 and just hold on to this. And I mean, if I'm up a pawn as black, then I must be at least equal, right? So maybe. So I definitely thought that I was going to see e4 here, which I think is the most testing move. And then I'd have to figure out what to do from here. I mean, I'd probably go b5. And then if you went a4, you know, this gets dicey. I'd have to go b4, I guess. I don't know what would happen here. e4 maybe. And if I take here, he takes here. I mean, it can get crazy. I mean, I think that's like, if white wants to fight for maximum advantage, they should try to push e4. Basically, it's what I would do now, the way I play now. If you want a good advantage. Okay, but he played a4, which is also good because he's saying, okay, still not committing my pawn, but you cannot play b5. And I'm like, okay. And I played knight to c6 because this is kind of a funny move, but I'm kind of like saying, go ahead and play e5. I'll play knight a5, and it's very difficult to regain the pawn with the knight on a5 like this. So that's kind of annoying. In the meantime, when this pawn pushes, it's giving up, you know, some stuff over here. So anyway, yeah, and then he played g3, and I'm just like, what? So I guess, you know, in hindsight, I'm realizing that just because someone's 1900 doesn't mean that they're going to try to play the most testing way in the opening. Because I guess I just expect when I play stronger players that they know more than me and that they're going to play better than me. And that's what I assume. But that's actually not what he was even trying to do at all. He was just like, oh yeah, I prefer Catalan positions, and I thought you won't know these as well. I mean, that's basically what was going on here. And don't get me wrong, that's a very valid way to play. But it's not what I was expecting this opening. That's not what I thought was going on in the opening, which was, I thought he was fighting for the most testing advantage, you know, going to go e4. He had no intention of doing that. He's just going to play moves that maybe aren't even the best, but they're going to take me out of what I know, and I'm going to have to just play chess. So, interesting lesson for me. So I'm going to have that in my mind when I play again this Sunday and the following Tuesday. Yeah, so I'm playing, you know, at least 6 rated games a week now to get to 1800, but that's a different story. All right, so I went here because I'm like, well, if he doesn't want to fight for the center, you know, maybe I will. You know, so maybe I'll go e5, or maybe I'll try to take this pawn. You know, that's kind of what I was doing here. And he played bishop e6, which, by the way, I thought bishop e2 was a good move because, you know, if I try to take the knight and take that pawn, you know, I'm not sure about this. I guess maybe bishop a, or maybe rook a7 is better, but I mean, have I really accomplished anything here? I have no idea, to be honest. It just looks kind of messy. So I wasn't actually going to do that. And plus, I don't have 2 bishops anymore. So I feel like if I'm going to give up my light square bishop, which is the counterpart to this bishop, then I better be pretty sure that it gives me something, you know, that I like, that's better for black or something. But that was just messy. Okay, so anyway, but he played this move, which is weird. And now I really realize that he's not fighting for maximum advantage at all. I mean, if you play bishop e3, blocking your pawn so it can't come to e3 or e4, then you're not fighting for the center at all. I mean, you're really not. He's just protecting his pawns, and he wants to develop in castle and play a game. And he hasn't even tried to collect this pawn yet either. But he is playing this Catalan style, which I used to play that as white too. I still do occasionally. But he's just saying, you know, I'll just play these moves and I'll collect this Catalan style, like knight e5 or queen c2, or, you know, different ways. Maybe even b3, like there's ways too. Now b3 actually is more of a gambit, but okay. What I did was e6. Now, I could try for e5 here. Yeah, you know what? I think I was thinking about this in the game. Like, what if we played like this? This is what Michael Jolson was showing. Like, this looks annoying. I actually like this. Okay, bishop f4 is what the engine gives here. Yeah, I don't know. And then it gives queen e7, avoiding the queen trade and lining up with the king. So now I'm threatening discoveries, but I'm also protecting the knight. Wow, it's kind of nice. Yeah, I guess black is better here. It's giving this, followed by this. Yeah, and anytime the bishop comes here when white played g3, that's not ideal at all. And then I can castle queenside, and black's better here. Yeah, I mean, we're up a pawn, and the pawn structure's about the same for both sides, and... okay. Yeah, this would be a clear advantage for black. I didn't see all that. I almost played that way. But I decided against it. I was like, you know, look, he's not fighting for maximum advantage or anything. So I really don't have to either. I could also just develop and then maybe, you know, see about making it hard for him to collect the pawn. You know, that's kind of what I was thinking. So bishop g2, bishop b4. Yeah, and now I have ideas to maybe go knight d5. So he castled, so that the knight's not pinned. Yeah, I guess I can go knight d5 right here. I castled, and I did not spend much time thinking about it either, because it just seemed like a normal move, but the engine actually does say that knight d5 is strong here. So I'm going to turn it off for a second and see if I can figure out why this is strong. What did I miss here? I thought if knight d5, if knight d5, what? Well, that's not good, right? He can't let me take there. If he goes here, oh, if he goes there, can we do this? Wow, this is starting to look good, isn't it? It's starting to look good. And, you know, white's not making progress on collecting the pawn either. So, like, if bishop g2, okay, let's see what the engine says. Wow, it says black's winning. So after knight d5, it's giving the move knight e5. Oh, okay. I think this is what this is the move that scared me off this. Because the knight comes out and attacks my bishop, which is hanging. And I thought, if I take here, he takes here. Well, wow. Isn't this a good move now? Because then if we take, that looks like kind of a fork. Maybe it forces a trade of queens. And then after that, maybe he has to protect that, like in a sad way. Like move a rook or something. See what the engine says. Oh, no, you can do that. Okay. I would probably take king g2. I don't know. Yeah, this is just equal though. And okay, well, let's see if what I was scared of was right. I thought if here and knight e5. This is why I didn't play knight d5. I was thinking about taking here. And after this, well, then I could take here. Wow. Oh, you know what it was I was afraid of? I thought, wait, I thought after knight e5, you know what? I was going to say maybe knight takes e3 is good, but it's not because they can take here. That's check. Then they take back. Actually, this is getting messy. I don't even I'm not sure anymore at all. I guess the computer says, you know, equal, but I just don't even know what's going on. I have two bishops, but I have this. And he's about to collect that. My bishop's under attack, and I don't know what's going on at all. So, okay, but I saw this move, knight e5. And I thought if here and here, I guess now, now that move's good or this. Yeah, it's funny because Constantine, he told me after the game that he thought I needed to go knight d5 earlier or sometime in the game. And I think it was this exact moment. So he knew that it was strong here, but I did not know. So that's pretty interesting. So I didn't do that. I just castled, but knight d5 was the way to go. Okay, and now I thought he would play knight e5 here. I mean, this is the move I was kind of fearing. And I wasn't sure what I would do. Because if I take it, that hits my knight. And I don't know, this? I mean, that loses a pawn, doesn't it? I don't know. Okay, I'm not exactly sure what I saw there. But he went knight to a2, attacking my bishop. And here, I analyzed this game with Michael Jolson, National Master Michael Jolson. And he thought this move was very interesting. And it is. I mean, the idea is to go here, you know, and pressure that weak pawn. And even though it looks awkward, the bishop is doing good work from there. I thought that was pretty interesting too. But it looked so awkward that I decided on bishop e7, which the engine does like better. So he went queen c2. So he's, you know, it's time, he's developed, it's time for him to try to attack the pawn. So now we understand why he moved the knight out of the way so he could do this. And, well, I played knight a5, but there is a lot of interesting moves right here. It turns out, once again, knight d5 is very strong. So maybe this is another moment that he saw, because he told me knight d5 is what I should have done. And he's totally right. Like, black's -2 here. Can't tell you why, though. Yeah, I thought if knight d5 here, I thought about it here too. I thought he would go knight e5 attacking the bishop. And then if I went here, yeah, I have that. So I must have thought he would go after takes. I thought he might go here. I don't know what I didn't like about all this. I wish I did know, because clearly I miscalculated this. I must not have seen the position clearly, because it all looks good now. But I've analyzed this game before this video too, so it's all running together now. Okay, anyway, knight a5, and he did play knight e5. I went bishop f5, attacking the queen. The queen went to c3, which I figured it would, because it attacks my knight and it's still on the pawn. And I thought here, if nothing else, I have c6, which is what I settled on. But I spent about, I don't know, 8 minutes on this move. I was looking at all kinds of crazy stuff. I don't know why. Because I don't think any of it works. I wanted to play this, you know. But I really doubt it's any good at all. Yeah, they probably have to move their rook, right? We don't want to give up a rook for nothing. Rook d1. Yeah, I did see this knight d5 thing. And I thought here, though, you could just take. What's wrong with that? So the engine's saying here I could play knight a5 and it's still in equal position. Okay. I think I was right not to go for that. It actually likes c5 the best, which I don't understand, but anyway, I thought c6, you know, protects the knight and stops this stuff. Although I should give a lot more thought to just sacking the exchange next time. I mean, there's only one thing I like sacking more than pawns, and that's rooks. So if I could sack that rook. Well, let me put it this way. If I could keep this bishop and get a queen on a8 and do this kind of stuff, yeah, I'll sack my rook all day. Those plans are really annoying, like attacking on the white squares. So I would have full compensation. But anyway, c6. So he wins back the pawn. So I took, he took. Yeah, and here is where I thought I started to go wrong. But actually, I did go wrong a little earlier because I missed knight d5. So I'll be making flashcards of those 2 moments when I should have played knight d5. Because I did spend time in those positions and I did not find it. And of course, I saw knight d5. I looked at knight d5. But I did not understand it clearly, so I still don't understand it. So I'm going to have to look at that. But here I played bishop e4. I mean, I thought, you know, this is great for me if he does this. I'm actually wrong. After f3, okay, I would have went here. Yes, position's just equal. Okay. I would not have known that. But I don't think, you know, he doesn't want to trade that bishop. So f3, and I thought I would go here. And the bishop's very, very awkward here and sort of vulnerable because of, you know, possible e4, which I knew. But I thought, you know, I could always take that knight, is what I thought. Yeah. So here, and I actually saw a tactic here, which actually doesn't even work. Yeah, I was kind of hoping he would go like, just make a normal move here, like maybe rook here. And I was planning this move, And I thought, doesn't even, I don't think it works. I mean, it's saying that black's winning. But I thought if here I could take, oh, wait. Yeah, wait. That's a skewer. I didn't even see the skewer. Let's just put this somewhere different. Okay. I was thinking if this move and queen c1, I thought I could take, and play this. But that's actually protected. So I didn't see that right. And there's also rook e3, right? Like, there's also this. But if that, oh no, there isn't this. Okay, there isn't this. Okay, so that part I got right, but I didn't see that as protected. The other thing is that, why does the queen have to go to c1? Why couldn't the queen go here? I mean, my bishop's still good here, I think, so I honestly would have taken anyway, I think, because that bishop is my bad bishop. See my pawns on light squares? So he was my bad bishop. So trading him off, I think helps my position. And I guess black's winning here, but I can't tell you why. Computer says winning after, oh, it's just the skewer again. Never mind. No matter where I put the rook, the computer finds skewers. It's kind of funny. I was just trying to make a nothing move. Okay, anyway, this here. Okay, queen here. Knight c1. I would give this move an exclamation mark. And mostly I'm doing that because Constantine, when we analyzed after the game, he said exclam. And I was very suspicious, but after we worked through it a little bit and he explained his thought process, I definitely agreed. And I don't know if you guys are like this, but sometimes when I play a chess game and my opponent makes a move, then like this weird feeling might happen where, like when I first saw knight c1, I was like, ooh, maybe I'm going to have a chance to do something really good here. But then I started looking around the board and I was like, wait a minute. Not only is there nothing good, but there's nothing even decent. Like my bishop's going to get trapped very soon. So like, and I can't trade off anymore. And he could have gone here, but I want him to take that. And this still gives me the b3 square. And I can still play in the queen side in this situation. Yeah, in fact, this is the best move. It's what I was planning, you know. So knight c1, exclam, and now I see it's the top engine move too. So it really is a good move. And if you look at the future of the knight now, I mean, it's kind of hard to go wrong with this, right? That's the right circuit for the knight. So knight c1 is a very nice move. I did not see that at all. And I will tell you that now I was in time pressure, under 2 minutes. My opponent had about 12 minutes, I think, so pretty significant time advantage. And this position's complicated. My bishop's in trouble, and I don't know where my rook should go, etc. Pawn breaks are a little difficult because we've got this going on. Yeah, this is a tough position to navigate with very little time. So I played here, which Michael Jolson chastised me for. He said, you know, even with not much time, you know, go rook c8 and c5. I mean, he's totally right. This is a move I could play without much thought, maybe. Yeah, but also, maybe I could go e5 right now. Like, if I go e5 right now, during the game, I was like, ooh, that loses because it attacks my knight, it attacks my queen, and I lose. But actually what happens is I take this with check, and I win. So, details, right? Details. So e5 is totally possible here, and I think it was my only real, well, I won't say only real move, because I do think this is a real move too, or maybe this one. But I went here, and now he can just go bishop f2 and threaten e4. And I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my bishop. So I'm pretty much forced to go c5. I don't think that I want to go c5. It's not prepared. So he took queen c7, e4, of course, bishop here. And I was basically under 30 seconds at this point, and, well, maybe I'm okay here. Okay, the engine seems to think so. But practically speaking, I like white's position. Well, okay, the knight's still on c1. But I think this position's a little too complicated for me to play with no time on my clock. So I messed this up bad. Oh, and I don't even have any more moves I can show at this point. But believe me, it did not look good. It was something like bringing the knight in and the rook over, and I ended up playing this or something. It did not go well. Let me say that. I got crushed. Let me put it that way at the end. But all in all, I do feel like I held my own. I think I played the opening better than my opponent, although he wasn't trying to play it well. I don't think he's just trying to get a position. And yeah, all my decisions up until this moment were pretty good. This moment, though, I missed knight d5 as the only real way for an advantage for black, which I was trying for. And then once again, right here, knight d5. So I missed those two moments. And then I don't like this whole thing that I do over with bishop e4, bishop d5. Actually, I think it's fine if I really have committed to trading off on a2. If I have done that, then I think it's fine. I should take here. I mean, computer says -2 for black. After takes knight d5. Yeah, this is how I should have played it, right? I'm threatening a fork right away. I'm threatening the bishop. Yeah, I literally saw this and I was like, oh, he'll just go here though. But then the computer says knight b4 anyway. Now he doesn't have his two bishops anymore. And let's see, he goes queen c4, attack the bishop. I could just go a5 maybe. Yeah, I like this position a lot actually, because this pawn's weak, and if I ever move it, the c pawn's weak, but I'm not sure how he gets to this pawn. It doesn't look all that easy to get to, and I have this square for now. Yeah, I like this position. I think I could play this. It does feel just equalish though, doesn't it? Oh, wait a minute. I missed something. Instead of taking the bishop here, we need to throw in queen takes d4 check. I missed this completely. I definitely missed this. And then we take with the queen on b4. So apparently this was the best way to play. But yeah, he played that knight c1 move, which is a really nice move by him. And after that, my bishop's in trouble. I have no time, and I think he won pretty easily after this. So I really do need to watch my time. I think I'm doing a better job at it, but I'm going to need to improve some more. Because I spent 8 minutes looking at crazy moves and ended up playing the move I saw in 10 seconds. So, you know, if I'm in that situation, I got to make sure I don't waste 8 minutes in a 30-minute game and instead take a minute, 2 minutes maybe. And then if I don't see anything clear, just play the move that I saw in 10 seconds, because that's what I'm going to do anyway. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the game. It's a little sad to lose this one, but not that sad because he's a very strong player, and I know that he's better than me. So losing that one is expected, really, and I do think I will learn from it. And I'll be back with more chess. Okay, bye.